Hey y'all, I am making one of my family's favorites. This is called Oven BBQ Chicken, but it is not barbecue and it is not, I don't know why they called it that. And to be honest with you, I really wish that wasn't the name because I think people assume that it's something that it's not. This is a homemade sauce. It is very runny. My husband loved it the first time I made it and wanted more of the sauce. So I modified the recipe and so that we would have more sauce. Today I'm doing a double batch. And I know I did this to y'all last time I was at the island, but I'm cooking for more people. So everything that I tell you is going to be, I'm going to tell you what a single batch takes, but remember I'm doubling it. And I'm going to try not to say that 100 times in the video. The thing about this recipe that I love, most people would have pretty much all of the items that are on the recipe for the sauce. So it's going to call for some ketchup, some vinegar, I just bought some Walmart brand vinegar, lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce, I'm not saying that right, I'm sure, butter, real butter, brown sugar, mustard, chili powder, paprika, and some cayenne pepper. And you can adjust that to your liking of the heat. And that is all, y'all. Now, it does bake for an hour and a half, so you have to give yourself time for that. But the sauce takes 2 minutes to make, and that's what we're about to do. The guys just got back from fishing, so I have about a 2-hour time frame before they're gonna be ready to eat. So let's get started making the sauce. I've told y'all this before, but I have a gas stove at my house, but since I'm here at the island, I'm just gonna have to use this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna melt our butter. I normally would not I wouldn't use a pan this big, but because, you know, I'm doubling it, I don't want it to overflow, but we're gonna take, normally you would use 1 stick of butter. You know the reason why I'm using 2. So let's put 2 sticks of salted butter in there. You could probably use unsalted, but I always use salted unless it calls for something otherwise, okay? And we're gonna let that start melting down. It takes 2/3 of a cup of ketchup. So in this case, we're going to use 1 1/3 cups. So I'm going to just take that lid right off. I use Hunt's ketchup, you use your favorite. Hey, how are you? We had a little visitor here, so now I'm gonna go in with my cup and then I'm gonna do another 1/3 of a cup. And we're just letting that butter melt while we're doing it. That's about 1/3 of a cup, so. The recipe calls for 1/4 of a cup of vinegar, and so we're gonna put 1/2 cup in here. And it doesn't matter what kind of vinegar you use. If you have apple cider, that's fine too. 1/2 cup of vinegar. I'm telling y'all, this is the easiest thing in the whole world. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So today I'm using 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna put in our 1/2 cup of Worcestershire. And the next thing is brown sugar. The recipe calls for 6 tablespoons. Okay, 12 tablespoons of brown sugar would be 3/4 of a cup. So add this in here, and we don't want to get this too high. It's easier on my gas stove. I'm not as used to an electric, and y'all know you pack brown sugar. 3/4 of a cup, equivalent to 12 tablespoons. And it calls for 2 teaspoons of mustard. We're gonna do 4. So 4 teaspoons of mustard. And we need 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons paprika, and 1 teaspoon of cayenne. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and we're gonna put in 4. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with our paprika. And on the cayenne pepper, my family likes things hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a teaspoon, but typically, I mean, if you don't like it hot, just do a half a teaspoon. For this, I'm doing, you know, we've got other people here tonight, so I'll do a teaspoon and a half instead of 2 teaspoons. And y'all, that is it. That is all that is in this sauce. I'll let it come to just a slight simmer boil, and that's it. Now we're gonna put it on our chicken and throw the chicken in the oven to bake. Okay, probably my least favorite part of making this is handling the chicken, and really there's nothing to that. I do wear gloves because I'm gonna pull the skin off. You could use whatever you wanted. Years ago, I would use a whole chicken and I would cut it up. But my family really prefers thighs, and so I just buy a pack of thighs. This does better if you do the bone-in thighs rather than the boneless, but you do what you want. You're just gonna take I take the chicken thighs with the bones, and I just, well, normally I don't drop it in the sink. We'll wash that one off. I take the skin and I just peel it back off of that thigh. That's all I do. I just throw it in the pan. We're gonna do that. Probably we're gonna use this whole package and maybe just a little bit more, and you guys know why. It's because we're doubling it. Okay, you can see that I actually have 14 thighs in here. I've taken the big piece of skin off of all of them, and now what we're gonna do is generously salt and pepper all of them. Pepper all of it. That's it. Now we're gonna take that sauce and pour it all over it and throw it in the oven. I've already got my oven preheated to 350. Here's our sauce. As you can see, it is, and there's nothing about this that says barbecue sauce. It is not a hickory flavor. I would say it's more like a sweet and tangy sauce, but we're just gonna go over all of our chicken. The consistency of the sauce pretty much stays like this. Okay, so the only thing I'm gonna do after I have put all this chicken and the sauce in here, the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift up each piece and just make sure that the sauce is all around it, on top of it, under it, everywhere. And now what we're gonna do is we are going to cover it tightly with foil, and it's gonna bake for 1 hour. And after an hour, we're gonna uncover it, and then it's gonna bake another 30 minutes. Okay, I've told you guys this before. I really do prefer glass to bake in, but, oh, look at there. There's a nice little box above my head. But for the sake of being here at the island, I'm just gonna have to do what I can with this huge foil pan. I don't have 2 glass baking pans, and so we're gonna stick it in. We'll be back in an hour to uncover it, and then we're gonna bake another 30 minutes. And the last 30 minutes is important because we're gonna baste it like every 10 minutes with the sauce that's in there. And that's what finishes it off. Meanwhile, I'm going to cook a pot of rice. My family always eats rice with it and puts all of the sauce on the rice. And my husband's best friend, Andy, gave him some fresh cut off the cob corn. And so we're gonna make some fresh creamed corn for dinner. And I think I bought some stuff for a Caesar salad. But everybody's out there cleaning up the boat and the fish, so they are gonna be hungry when they come in. So we'll be back. Okay, y'all, this has been baking for 1 hour covered. I just took the foil off. We're about to start basting it and set the timer for another 30 minutes. There you go. That's the oven barbecue chicken when it's done. We're gonna serve it over rice.